Okay, hello everyone. Thank you. We don't have a whole lot of time today. We just did the Taipei Chan because a little bit early is because we're going to go into a summer cheese, 1 week for Qi and 3 weeks of Chan Qi. Going to be in San Francisco. It's the first time that we organize a Dharma assembly in San Francisco. As of today, it's still not ready yet. So keep your fingers crossed. We might have to do in the parking lot, which is on the street. That's where we park our cars. This is San Francisco, remember? It's no parking lot, unless you're very, very wealthy. Okay, so we're a little bit nervous because we hope it's going to be ready. It might be a little bit late, but we should have enough to get to do the cheese there. Maybe the bathrooms will not be quite ready yet. Otherwise, it should be okay. Okay, as I just came back here to the States after 5 weeks plus being away in Korea, and this time here is marks the official kickoff of the next phase of our Dharma propagation, meaning that we're going to be a lot more aggressive propagating our brand of American Mahayana. Is to differentiate it from the Chinese Mahayana that my master brought to the United States 50 years ago. I find it too Chinese, and to the point where it doesn't quite. It caused a lot of problems for me when I practiced it, and it's not enough for our times. Especially the young people would have a hard time practicing it. This is also this. So I went to Korea to start this new phase again of our Dharma propagation. So I call it American Mahayana to differentiate it from Master YongHua's Mahayana. I'm no longer hiding in his shadows. I'm very grateful for what he did. I learned a lot. But each generation should have their own approach to the propagation. And I've been waiting patiently for 25 years for the second patriarch to do something, but apparently I'm too old to keep on waiting, so that's why we're kicking it off by first going to Korea and officially put our stamp on the American Mahayana in Korea, which is Chan and Pure Land, parallel practice. And it's fairly well received, actually been very fortunate. The Koreans are very receptive to our approach to Mahayana. We've been there for the last couple of years, and so our people have been sowing the seeds. And this time here, my 4th time in Korea, we've been fairly well received, actually better received than I expected. So as I said yesterday, we went to Busan and to visit Master Ji-hun, and he's one of the senior Sunims in the Jogye order, and he specializes in bringing in international teachers to Korea to enrich the Korean Buddhism. So he brought Thích Nhất Hạnh there. He tried to bring the Dalai Lama, but they have a hard time because the government would not allow the Dalai Lama to put his feet in South Korea because of the Chinese pressure. It just happens. And so, but we were very well treated, and one of the things that I learned a lot from him. In particular, he has this chain, this group of elderly retirement homes retirement homes, was very successful. I walk in one of his locations next to his temple. I was amazed of the level of energy. I've been to many retirement homes, small and large, and they all have the same characteristic. They drain your energy as soon as you go there. It's not where I want to hang out in my spare time, personally. But I went to his retirement home. The residents were very happy. Look at these faces. They wearing funny glasses. Wait, they didn't wear funny glasses. We put funny glasses on them because we didn't want them to complain that we didn't have permission to put the face on our slideshows. But they're all happy. They're all very happy, and they're very energetic, and there's no drain of energy at all. So they're doing something very, very right. His people are been with him for, there's this lady here, director of all the operations. It's been like 30 years. The young lady here has been with him since a child. She's been with him 19 years. So he has a very strong following, and very impressive to me. I don't know about you, but personally, loyalty is very important to me. Okay? And so I'm so impressed. And to the point where in the future, if any of those of you who have some Kung Fu have been certified by me, who would be interested in doing retirement homes, I would be interested. Because this is something that we can help to society in a way that only we can do. I would send people over to Korea and learn from him and see what he does. Okay? Would be fantastic, really, would be tremendous. It's the first time I can think of in America where the retirement homes are actually enhance the health of the residents instead of making them die sooner. This is my impression so far. You put your parents to the retirement home is to speed up their death. I hope it doesn't happen to me. Yes, 8.
And this is not related to the slides. From Jane, I saw a dead bird on the sidewalk. I picked it up and put it in the trash bin. Then I recited the rebirth mantra for the bird. I'll do it 108 times today. Is it the right thing to do?
Yes, it's a very good thing to do. Thank you. The bird thanks you. Yes, anyone else? Any other questions? Yes, 9.
Master, it's just a comment. I used to work in the field of senior care, and your assumption of how it seems is really quite true, that usually when an elderly person has to go to a nursing home, unless there's some really great care, personal care, they're gone within 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
It's just kind of a standard thing.
I'm not surprised because all those places, they drain your energy. I've been to too many of them. Retirement homes at different levels of care, very light care to serious intensive care, and they all drain your energy. I just hated going to those places. I would not even live in the neighborhood because it's like a black hole of chi, if you will. Never. I would never.
I did go to one place. It was a boarding care that was run by a lady who is a registered nurse. And I was really impressed because people were living longer than their family expected. So obviously it is possible here, but
no, there's a lot more going on here in his temple because he actually trained his people to aid the residents. So they can stop the drain, the decline of the residents. So I was impressed, and he really spoiled me personally because he spent like so much time with me. He being a senior person, he He spent time making tea for all of us, low lives, and then spend an hour or so showing me his nursing homes. I was so grateful for the learning. Okay. Anyway, so that's. I think in the future I would be interested in sponsoring this here in the States. I'd like to have more of these in the United States because be good for our people as well as the non-Buddhists. They don't discriminate, by the way. They accept anyone. Okay, and this is, we are leaving the nursing home, walking away, and they decided to record our butts. So I let you watch it. That's Master Z behind us. Any comments? Okay, and so we're saying goodbye here. You should see people walk. The way you walk, the way you carry yourself reveals your Kung Fu level. Okay? If you wish to reveal your Kung Fu level, sometimes by standing, sometimes by walking, sometimes by sitting. Depends on when is the proper time to do that. Master YongHua does it in a very smooth way in all 3 compartments I noticed, but he's showing off for us, his disciples, on what to do. I wouldn't do that because it draws too much attention. But see, he's a very kind and compassionate monk. I really like him. I have so much respect for him. Say, watch again. Our butts when we walk. It's funny how we walk on the same pace. Okay. And then after that, we went back to a cafe place. And this is in the boonies. And it's very hard to find. I don't know how they found it, but it's a beautiful, beautiful cafe. The landscaping is exquisite. It's very expensive. Look at all this landscaping, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful place. It's a very exclusive. We're really spoiled, and they're waiting for us. For all like close to 20 people. Making special tea, all kinds of drinks, coffee, and so forth. Some even came just for the coffee, okay, to join us. And it's so beautiful. And this is one area, 3-season porch overlooking the small pond there. There's a koi fish here. And saw Jusunim meditating here, pondering about the meaning of life. And this building is very, very old. They use very old architecture. So this is real woodwork. And amazingly, I liked it so much. And the flowers, you see, I was sniffing flowers right here, in case you haven't noticed. And they have many big rocks. I would sit on the rock and ask our Sangha to join me. This is, one is missing. Who is that? Oh, Xienan is missing in this photo. Anyway, the tea there, it was a lot more peaceful at this cafe than at the temple we stayed in. Hongbopsa, I think. Yeah, this is Hongbopsa. Okay, this is we stayed for 4 or 5 days. The abbot is very, very compassionate. This is in the Busan area. Busan is the second largest city in Korea, in the southern tip of the peninsula, and they have a huge Buddha statue there. It's something like 20 plus feet. Okay, it's about from here up to the ceiling, if you will. Our ceiling is about 25 feet. Okay, and this is on top of his Buddha hall here. He who was bequeathed by an old lady 12 acres worth of land. That's worth a lot of money. So it's very rare to have such a big piece of land in that area. Busan land is very expensive. We couldn't buy anything there. And so he has a lot of space for us. This lawn here is a big lawn. Okay, that it took a lot of care to monitor. And so there's something like 10 of us staying there. That's that he put up, that he helped us lodge, have our own coffee table, tea table. The Koreans are crazy about tea. They drink tea all day. Okay. I don't think they meditate at all. They drink tea instead of meditating. And look at this fancy tea table here. It's like 1 block of wood. Okay? So he's so rich that everything he has is designed to impress. But the tea that's available there is kind of cheap tea. You can't impress me with tea. Oh, this is a monk. This is an abbot of a temple about half an hour away. This is the temple that our people offered a stupa and some relic to Master, the old monk. Okay, so he came to see us, to say thank you. I didn't like him at all. Anyway, too old, too bad attitude. I don't like monks who have the attitude, I'm here, serve me. You know, he's of that generation. Okay, I don't know. We have a video of him walking, both our butts walking as well. Okay. Anyway, and this is inside. This is round Buddha hall here. That's the inside of a Buddha hall. Okay, and I was asked to speak Dharma. This is the abbot right here, Sim Sam Sunim. And Sienna was translating. This is the other abbot. Okay, they know each other, of course, and this is our people here. And there's around 300-400 people in attendance. Okay, it's a huge Buddha hall. It's gorgeous. It's so expensive. The sound system made me drool. It's just a great sound throughout. It's incredible. I spent so much money here and yuck. I'm unhappy. Okay, and look at all the adornments here. Everything is designed to impress. And actually, the Busan people, they all cultivate. They work hard, and there's a difference. These people here, they ask questions about cultivation. They're eager to ask questions about cultivation because they didn't have answers to those questions before. This is our contribution. I feel that I learn a lot from the proud Korean Buddhist tradition. They have a very rich Buddhist tradition, very traditional, but they are not able to keep up with the times, meaning that in the 21st century, they have a hard time drawing young people. Look, we have beautiful young people here with us, okay? And they're interested, as well as old people, well, elderly people, mature people, excuse me, okay? Okay, and whereas over there, it's primarily old people at the temple. So young people don't go there anymore. And so maybe it's because they have a bad attitude, the wrong attitude. The attitude of my generation is, I'm here on the pedestal, you're supposed to come and serve me, make offerings to me. And I don't think it works anymore in the States or in the young generations. We need to earn their trust. We need to serve them, not the other way around. Otherwise, they have many options. They could go to the churches. They could go to the synagogues and so forth, where they are better served. Okay, and there's a competition. There's a lot of competition for their time. Okay, so that's what I feel we can do, because our Chan technology is quite superior in all honesty. We've been perfecting the Chan training technology for the last 15 years. So ours is actually pretty advanced. It's shown by the fact that you've been improving very quickly, and our people in Korea, our disciples in Korea also improve very quickly. So these people, my attitude when I go to get speaker at these temples is in order to help them. I have no intention of stealing the disciples away from the temples at all. We're there to contribute to Korean Buddhism, and we help the Korean disciples appreciate more what they have. So I find things that are substantial, they're significant or advantageous to various temples, and highlight them. Okay, and so in particular, these people are very, very eager to have the questions answered about cultivation. It's amazing how people cultivate and they cannot get answers everywhere, including from Master Hsuan-Hua's temples. Okay, difference is that those Koreans, they're very open-minded, whereas my master's temple, they think they know it all. Okay, so which is unfortunate. This is not Mahayana spirit at all. I don't care whatever level you are. Just I myself am still looking for a good no advisor. This is our path of practice. Okay, we should be good no advisors ourselves, but we never stop looking for a good no advisor. My master never taught his disciples that. That's why I'm teaching you that, so that you can become better than me. Okay, won't be much longer, then I can retire. So they're very happy to they're very simple questions, very simple concerns, but unless you cultivate, you don't know how to answer those things. Look at how impressive it is. All these are lotus lanterns. They're rich, okay? Everything is expensive, The chairs are real wood. We have Chinese imported chairs at our temple. We hear, and there's a second floor here where they have a lot of plaques on the wall here. And look at this fancy sound system. Okay, they do this. Yes, it's very expensive stuff. Okay, and let's see what else. I like the Buddha Hall, so I look at the Buddha Hall and say, I'd never be able to afford a Buddha Hall like this. Forget it. I'd rather build a lot of temples where you cultivate. Like, look at how ugly our temple is. All that matters to me is you improve. Okay, this is a pure Chan temple, if you will. Well, Catholic Chan temple. Okay, that's my excuse. That way, I don't need nice statues. All right, but these people, they have so much money, and they made the temples very adorned. Maybe in your generation, my generation, maybe one or two, but not everything. Okay. And the abbot claim is 400 people that day. And look at how much space they're sitting like this. It's still 400 people. I don't know how it's 400 people. Maybe Korean numbers. Okay? And the funny thing is that that cafe, that fancy traditional Korean cafe, beautiful, beautiful cafe, okay? I wouldn't mind, living there, if you will, okay? Turn that into a temple. The chi there, the atmosphere there is better than this temple. And the owners of that cafe is Christian. I don't get it. Yes, sir. 6.
I'm a little bit curious. You ever got to go to a Catholic church in Korea?
I walked by many Catholic churches, big ones. But I figure since each one of these I've been to, they give me a choir, I don't need to go to church anymore. I go to churches because of the choir. I love the choirs at churches. Okay, so I didn't feel the need to go into the churches. But they have nice churches, beautiful, beautiful churches. The churches outnumber the temples by 3-1, as on average. Wherever I went, I saw a temple. It's like surrounded 4 or 5 different churches near the crosses, like ours on top here. Okay? You can't beat them, join them. That's my attitude. Okay, any other questions? And this is one of the nice places. Tungdosa. This is one of the 3 major temples in Korea. Okay, this is where this is called like the triple jewel, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Tungdosa is considered to be the Buddha jewel of Mahayana in Korea. Korea is Mahayana, no two ways about it. Hinayana has no chance. The Koreans have such great Mahayana roots that the Hinayana people would have a hard time proliferating, including the Tibetan. Even if the Tibetans are allowed in, I doubt that they can connect with the Korean people. They have such great Mahayana roots, forget it. Unless you're Mahayana, they're not going to be interested. They have way too many blessings to be, go to a low-level Dharma. And this is thanks to the proud and very, very, very good Buddhist tradition in Korea. I'm impressed. It's one of the countries left that, besides China, compared to Japan, for example, Korea is like night and day compared to Japanese Buddhism, in my humble opinion. Okay, I have no interest in going to Japan at all. I go to Japanese temples, 0 interest. But Tungdosa is one of the reasons why I'm interested. They're very strong. Okay, these are cultivators. I love it. I'm impressed with these people. Okay, they have like 175 branches. They have quite a bit of support. They're cultivators. I love people who cultivate. And I whipped out my sunglasses there to go incognito. So anyway, we walked around his huge temple, okay, on lots of land. And see, most Korean temples, they have this replica of the Shakyamuni Buddha stupa at the other ancient temple, 12th century temple. And I met with this ex-abbot, the abbot who was he was an abbot and he retired. Now he went to one of the branches here, one of the locations there, and we walked in there because a lay person invited us for lunch, and that lay woman happened to be a relative of him. So she called him and said, "Can we come over for a visit?" He said, "Come over, let's have some tea." He walked in there, and the first time I met him, and he looked at me and said, "Who is he?" And I said, "Oh, he's from Mỹ Guk Saram, Mỹ Guk Saram," something like that, meaning this guy is American. And he says, and then he spotted me immediately, and he took an interest in me, and so I really like him. He's his 80s. How old is he? Anyone remembers? Sarju? Huh? Over 80 years old. Okay? He's been a monk since he was 19. He lived there since he was 19. That's it. So one of the things is very interesting that I'm so excited to share with you. So I asked him, "What is the secret in cultivation of your temple?" He says, "What? This is so important. I don't know why the Koreans don't do that. Only Tung Dosa does it. The others don't seem to do it." He says, in order to practice in our temple, okay, we live with the Great Assembly. We don't live by ourselves. That's how they train. That's why they're very strong cultivators. I'm always impressed. Okay? It's rare for people to recognize me in the first glance. So he liked me a lot, and he's a big shot, by the way. He retired, but he's a big shot. He was the abbot for 10 years before he retired, maybe a couple years before, something like that, right? 3-4 years, maybe 2, 3, 4 years. I don't know. So he gave us tea, and then he says, "We're taking our leave because we're behind schedule." This is his relative here who offered lunch for us. So we are on our way out. He says, "Wait a minute. Okay, let me go get dressed. I want to take some photos with you." So he went and disappeared into his room and then take some photos. So he took, I don't know why, he insisted on having a photo with me and him alone. And as we were there, and I look at his sash, he look at me, he says, "This is a very special sash. Did you know that?" I said, "No, I didn't know that." He says, "Don't be fooled by this simple design. The simple design here is for big shots in the Joge order. This is small shots. This is big shots." Yeah. And he has a special pin here so this is only senior seated monks, and they're recognized as having significant contribution. So he's a big shot. Okay? Well, people are too relaxed. God darn it. Huh? What is the matter with you people? You should be more obsequious and more impressed. But no, look at these people. They're so relaxed. This one here is, I don't know, she's out of touch. She's probably in Mars or something at that time. This guy is just too happy to have his photo taken. And the rest of them, look at them, they're too relaxed. They don't realize that have your picture taken with this big shot here is a big deal. It's like, a lot of monks, they go and have their photo taken with Dalai Lama, and Xing Yun and so forth. We would never do that, okay? For us to have our photo taken with this ex-abbot is a big deal, trust me. And yet, look at how unimpressed my Sangha is. I was the only one who was impressed and happy. The rest, this is fun. Look at this. Oh, well. And see, so now he gave me something that he wrote. This is also, he drew something in Chinese. They learned Chinese as his generation. Okay. They gave me gifts and so forth. I had to apologize that it's a unpremeditated stop, so I have nothing for him. I said, don't worry, I'm going to give you stuff from me anyway. So, okay, and then we went and had some. What happened to all the restaurant? And after that, we went to a very nice restaurant. Have some traditional Korean noodles. Which reminds me, I'm a little bit hungry. Can we stop here today? I don't feel like talking now. Let's stop here, do the lunch offering, and go eat. Thank you, everyone. And it made my day. My trip is, I was totally surprised because none of our people realize how big of a deal Tungdo-sa is. It's a very important temple in Korean Buddhism. Very low key. That's why they're important, because they're so strong. That's why they need to be low key. You see, when you're so much stronger, you need to be low key so that you don't take customers away from the other temples. Okay, how about lunch offering right now? Are you ready, or you need to have some bathroom break?